So let's look at the different types of transportation costs. Different types. So the first is the pure variable cost. So you have to look at in pairs. So there is dollar per unit, and then there is dollar per shipment, right? So dollar per unit in a pure variable cost, rupees per unit will remain constant, right? 10 rupees per piece will always remain constant. And per shipment, again, it is a linear function. So, 100 rupees per shipment. Then if you have more number of units, your dollar per shipments will increase. So, literally a linear function between dollar per shipment and number of units. As the number of units increase, dollar per shipment would increase linearly. If you ship 10 units, and there is $10 per unit cost, you hit 100. The moment you shift from 10 units to 20 units, you hit $200. So rupees per shipment, dollars per shipment is a linear function, and dollar per unit will be a straight line, constant. The second type of transportation cost is a pure fixed cost. For example, FTL, full truckload. Full truckload, let's say you hire a vehicle for, uh, you know, uh, 14 tons or 18 tons. And, if you are utilizing it even for 1 ton, you have to pay the amount of full truckload, right? So, if you use it for 1 ton, then obviously your cost per ton is very, very high. The moment you start using it for 18 tons, your cost per ton will keep on falling down. So if you look at the first function, which is dollar per unit, it is going to exponentially come down as the number of units increase, right? And dollar per shipment in this case is going to be constant. So whether irrespective of the number of units you ship, you are paying for the cost of that truck from point A to point B, और आपका कॉस्ट कांस्टेंट रहने वाला है, right? Then third is a mixed variable and fixed cost. So it's a hybrid model. So you'll have some bit of fixed cost and some bit of variable cost. So typically in our country, in India, the practice for full truckloads is typically uh, a mix of variable and fixed cost, a variable of mixed and fixed costs. So the combination of the first and the second scenario. So if you look at dollar per shipment, it has some kind of a fixed cost that does not start from zero. So as soon as you ship the first item, there is a cost attached to it, and then it becomes variable as you increase the number of items. Then there could be another scenario where there is a variable cost, pure variable, but with a certain minimum cost. So you might have something like 10 rupees per piece, but subject to minimum 100 rupees per shipment. So irrespective, so up to let's say 10 units, you are going to pay 10 rupees per piece. And if you ship the 11th unit, then it gets into the variable aspect. And then there is another option, which is incremental discounts. So after certain units, you will have X cost, and after certain units, you will have Y cost per unit. And if you look at the shipment function, you will have a linear line, and that slope will slightly decrease after you hit a certain number of units. So we need to correlate this with our kind of scenario. What type of contracts are we doing with our logistic service providers? Is it क्या हम पूरा वेरिएबल कॉस्ट पे उनके साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं, कंप्लीट फिक्स कॉस्ट पे कर रहे हैं, मिक्स ऑफ फिक्स्ड एंड वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, variable cost but with a certain minimum amount per shipment, और या हम डिस्काउंट स्ट्रक्चर्स की बात कर रहे हैं कि पार्ट ट्रक लोड में कई बार होता है कि अप टू 1 टन ये कॉस्ट होगा एंड अबव 1 टन ये कॉस्ट होगा, या हैव 3 slabs ऑल्सो, you know, minimum 40 kgs or 50 kgs to about a ton, then 1 ton to 3 tons, and anything about above 3 tons. So you have these incremental discounts also available in different scenarios uh, in your transportation costs also, right? And I'm sure you would be dealing day in and day out with these kind of scenarios. So nothing new, just to put things in perspective, how the cost functions vary. It's more from putting that perspective into place.